What if you could see not just what's right in front of you, but sort of the hidden movements of life?
You mean like the subtle shifts, the cycles?
Exactly, yeah. The coming and going, across all these different layers of existence.
Yeah.
And what if seeing all that gave you this really profound perspective on everything?
A kind of unshakable viewpoint on the world and its challenges.
Right. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into an ancient story that touches on exactly that. It's about spiritual insight, but also the limits, maybe, of even amazing perception.
And crucially, the power of one specific quality diligence.
Yeah, we're looking at the Mahākassapatthera Vatthu. It's a story from the Dhammapada commentary, and it features the Venerable Mahākassapa and the Buddha himself.
A fascinating account.
It really is. So our mission here is to unpack it, look at the different levels of knowledge it talks about, the meaning behind this one key verse.
And what it all might mean for us, trying to cultivate our own wisdom and perspective, even if we don't have divine vision.
Okay, let's get into it.
So the story starts by setting the scene from Mahākassapa, right? It's quite specific.
It doesn't waste any time. We find Mahākassapa, who's this respected elder, meditating in the Pifali cave, apparently a well-known spot.
He'd just done his alms round in Rajagaha, had his meal, and settled down.
But he wasn't just, chilling out, was he?
Yeah.
The text is specific about what he was doing.
Not at all. And this is where it gets really interesting. He had actively, deliberately enhanced his light perception. It's a specific practice.
Okay.
And he was seated, focused, using his dipakku, his divine eye. This isn't just seeing, it's something more. Extraordinary perception.
And what he saw with his divine eye is pretty mind-blowing. He wasn't just looking at trees and rocks.
No, he was observing beings. The text says both the negligent, the careless ones, and the diligent ones.
And seeing them doing what?
Seeing them moving and arising, which basically means passing away and then being reborn. And not just in one place, but everywhere in water, on earth, in the mountains. It was this huge, intricate view of the cycle of existence.
So not just individuals, but the whole flow. Like seeing cause and effect play out in real time across different realms.
Exactly. Imagine having that kind of clarity, seeing where beings come from, where they're heading, the whole continuous stream.
It's almost hard to wrap your head around.
It really is. But even that incredible vision had its boundaries, and that's where the Buddha comes in, offering an even bigger picture.
Right. So the Buddha, who was miles away in Jetavana,
his main monastery, yeah.
He perceived what Mahākassapa was up to, also using his own divine eye. He knew Mahākassapa was observing this. Kuchapatha.
Yes, the passing away and rebirth of beings. But then the Buddha reveals something profound.
Which is?
That the full scope of this passing away and rebirth, it's unbelievably vast. So vast and subtle, the text implies, that some aspects, like beings conceiving hidden in the womb, are beyond even a Buddha's ability to fully map out or define completely.
Whoa. Okay, so even a Buddha's knowledge has a kind of horizon there.
In terms of defining every single instance exhaustively, yes. The point being its sheer immensity. And this is where Mahākassapa's limit comes in.
Ah, okay.
The Buddha clarifies that this kind of all-encompassing view, knowing absolutely everything about all beings passing away and being reborn, that wasn't Mahākassapa's domain.
So his vision, while amazing to us, was described as small or limited in comparison.
Correct. The Buddha explicitly says to know and see all beings passing away and being reborn is solely the scope of Buddhas. Mahākassapa's scope, while vast, wasn't that total.
And how did the Buddha deliver this message? Not just a telepathic memo, I assume.
No, it was quite dramatic. He emanated light, appearing as if he were sitting right there, face to face with Mahākassapa, really setting the stage.
For the core teaching, which came as a verse, a gadatha.
Exactly. The Buddha spoke this verse.
But lay it on us.
When a wise person dispels negligence with diligence, having ascended the palace of wisdom, sorrowless, he surveys the sorrowful populace, like one on a mountain surveying those on the ground, a wise one surveying fools.
Okay, there's a lot in there. Let's break it down. First part. Dispels negligence with diligence. What does that dispelling really mean? The word is nudati.
Right, nudati, to push away. And the commentary gives this really vivid image.
Yeah.
It says, it's like when fresh water flows into a pond. It actively pushes the old stagnant water out, right? It doesn't leave any space for it.
Ah, okay. So it's not just stopping being negligent.
No, it's actively replacing it.
Yeah.
Diligence comes in with force, pushing negligence out. It gives it no room, no foothold in the mind.
That makes sense. It's an active process. So for us, trying to be less careless or distracted, It means really making an effort to bring in focus and attention, not just hoping the carelessness fades.
Precisely. It's a constant, deliberate cultivation. Then there's the Palace of Wisdom.
Which isn't a literal palace, I'm guessing.
Definitely not. It's equated with, well, insight.
Yeah.
A found spiritual insight. Maybe even that purified divine eye again. It's something you attain by diligently following the path. The path is described as a ladder, or steps, leading up to this palace.
So wisdom isn't just handed to you. You have to climb towards it, ascend through practice. It suggests real spiritual growth, a transformation.
A deep inner refinement built step by step. And then maybe the most striking image, the view from above.
Like one on a mountain surveying those on the ground. That's pretty cool.
Very clear, like being on a mountain peak or maybe the top floor of a palace, looking down effortlessly at people on the ground or in the courtyard. You see everything clearly from up there.
So how does that apply spiritually?
Well, the wise person, and here it specifically means someone like an arahant who's totally free from inner defilements,
Okay.
they effortlessly survey the foolish, meaning those still caught in the cycle whose seeds of existence haven't been rooted out. They see them passing away, being reborn.
But from a detached, higher perspective, without getting caught up in the sorrow or the confusion of it all.
Exactly. It's a perspective that transcends the immediate drama. It provides clarity, detachment, understanding of the bigger patterns.
So this wisdom gives you that mountaintop view
Yeah,
of the human condition, basically.
that's a great way to put it. And the impact of the Buddha saying this verse, it was immediate. The text says right at the end of the Gatha, many attain the fruits of stream entry and higher. These are major steps in spiritual awakening.
Wow. So just hearing and understanding this verse was transformative for people right then and there.
It underscores how powerful these insights can be.
So let's bring this back to us. Obviously, most of us don't have a divine eye seeing rebirths. What's the takeaway?
Well, I think the story isn't just about psychic powers. It's really driving home the power of diligence in cultivating any kind of genuine wisdom or clarity.
So even without the Dibakaku, if we're diligent in developing our own insight or understanding,
We can still achieve a clearer, maybe less sorrowful perspective. We can move from being stuck on the ground, caught in the immediate, to gaining more of that mountaintop view of our own lives and the world.
it's about the quality of perspective that wisdom brings, which is cultivated through that constant diligent effort, seeing things more as they are.
Exactly. Wisdom isn't just knowing facts, it's achieving this profound clarity. And diligence is the key to cultivating it, seeing from a higher vantage point.
So maybe something to think about. In our world, which is just saturated with information, right? We're always overwhelmed with details, stuck on the ground level.
Constantly reacting.
Yeah. So what kind of palace of wisdom can you build in your own life? What happens if you diligently observe your own mind, your own world, trying to see beyond the surface?
What broader, maybe less troubled perspectives might open up if you really commit to that diligent observation, moving beyond that immediate ground level view?
A lot to ponder there.